Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, and today I'm excited to get right into the first of the 2020 Twin Flame Outlook readings. Alright, this is a love reading. This is going to be about Aries, and Aries is Twin Flame. And this reading is for those of you who are with your lover, right? You're with your Twin Flame, you're with your soulmate, but I call it a Twin Flame reading because soulmates can be friends, they can be all teachers, you know, you can meet spiritual teachers that are soulmates. Soulmates are just souls that have a very close bond and understanding. But twin flames are two people who really burn brightly when they're with each other. They are connected to each other, and they are, you know, lovers, true soulmate lovers, right? And so this is the outlook for you and your twin flame for 2020. So we're going to get right into pulling out your romance angel cards. I'm going to pull out two for the year for you and your twin flame. And then we're going to get into your spirit animal and your reading. Straight out, we have, unrequited love. All right, so there's an issue there. And we have, let your friends help you. All right, Aries. Now, let's just see. We can see this may or may not be about specifically the love between you and your twin flame. This could actually be about those around you. You may be getting impacted by exes or family. So we're going to see, you know, we're going to take a look at what these two romance angel messages really mean once we get into your read. Let's pull out the two spirit animals for you guys this year. And this is, of course, my beautiful new spirit animal deck from Colette Baron Reed. This is the deck that I am giving away on my channel. So if you're interested in getting this particular deck, let's see if I can show you the box for it so you know which one I'm talking about. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle from Colette Baron Reed. If you're interested in getting a brand new deck of this deck, go ahead and just let me know in the comments, okay? This is a giveaway for Christmas for those of you who are subscribed to my channel. And I just need to know if you're interested in being in a drawing in a comment, and that will make you part of the official drawing. And you will receive, if you win, you'll receive this deck brand new, delivered to your house on Christmas Eve. All right, guys, so we have the moth. All right, surrender now. Interesting. And we have the wolf. Wow, turn knowledge into wisdom. Okay, these are two very individual sort of animal spirits. Quite interesting. So let me just get into your animal spirits and then we'll get into your spread. Now the moth is interesting. Surrender now, right? Moth spirit is, when they say surrender now, a lot of things to do with the moth is the fact that the moth is very, very flighty, right? The moth spirit is very flighty, and it oftentimes can be sort of distracted by glittery things, shiny new objects. The moth a lot of times can suffer from this idea of the grass is always greener on the other side, right? And so in a lot of ways, surrender now really is talking about moth spirit coming into your life at a time when you're being reminded that you really need to surrender yourself to a task. Put all of yourself into a task in order to achieve it, right? Don't withhold. Don't try to sort of like go from here to there, or try to find an easy road. You know, sometimes you just have to surrender to a particular task so that you can get the most out of it. Moth spirit, people who generally resonate with moth spirit energy, oftentimes, they will leave relationships when the going gets tough, or they'll leave relationships when they see another opportunity that seems as though it's easier or shinier or better. Now, it could very well be, Aries, that your lover is resonating with this kind of energy, right, a little bit, or that you're dealing with someone, or you're in a relationship with someone who is resonating with a little bit of moth spirit energy, in a sense that they really need to learn to surrender a lot more to the relationship, in a sense of putting more effort in, putting more time in. Now, there's also wolf spirit in this dynamic. Now, when I say this is the dynamic, right? So we have these energies within this dynamic. It may or may not resonate with you, and that's fine. But we also have the wolf spirit. And the wolf is a really strong, sort of wise spirit. The wolf is generally associated with being the leader of the vulnerable, right? Wolf, taking care of the pack, right? So the wolf is oftentimes associated with the revolutionary, the person who is working sort of for the poorest in our society, the most vulnerable in our society, the neglected, you know, the one who champions sort of the voice of what we would call the little people or the forgotten people or the marginalized people, right? Wolf energy is also someone who's extremely wise. They've had a lot of experiences. Oftentimes the wolf is associated with teachers as well. And this is just generally the leader, right? The leader of the pack. And I would say, Aries, you are definitely going to be resonating with wolf energy because, Aries, you are a natural leader anyway. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are dealing with someone this year who is resonating with that moth spirit a little bit, in the sense that they need to surrender. They need to put more effort in. You, of course, are, if you're resonating with that wolf spirit, you're being very mature about it. You're trying to sort of maybe put up with a lot of things. But let's see what your reading actually says, right? Because I won't know how these spirits play into your year until I get your reading out. Looking into Aries for 2020 twin flame relationship dynamic. Now, this is my soulmate spread that I use when I'm doing soulmate readings or readings to look specifically at twin flame dynamics. That came out change. This is not the traditional Celtic spread. It's the 6-card spread. It's also a fairly traditional spread also, but not a lot of people use it. I'm going to pull out 6 cards, and they're going to be cards that represent how you see yourself, how you see your partner, and how you see the relationship, and the same thing for your partner cards, okay? And then we're going to get an idea. Remember, this is only a snapshot into a relationship that you may or may not resonate with. This may not be your connection at all. And if it's not for you, if it doesn't apply, just let it fly, okay? You can also check out the general 2020 outlook readings, and that one, your general 2020 outlook, your 2020 general outlook may be more sort of in line with what you're going through the year, maybe more sort of representative of where you're at in your life. So definitely check that out also. So straight out, we have 4 of Pentacles for you, and your partner is 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. You see your partner's Page of Swords. They see you as 3 of Wands. You see the relationship as a 7 of Wands, and they see it as an 8 of Cups. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have a 6 of Swords. All right. So let me just move this up a little bit so we can really see all of the cards. There you are. All right, guys, Aries. We are 8 of Cups. So someone definitely is feeling sort of, there will be some unrequited love for some of you, but we're going to get right into it. So, see if I can fix that glare. There we go. So, 4 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. A lot of money involved here, Aries. A lot of issues to do with money. I'm going to say, this is how you see yourself right now, and this is how your partner is seeing themselves. You're really having a lot of issues with money, right? This is what you come into. This is for 2020. So for you, 2020, you're really going to be seeing yourself kind of trying to hold on to your financial stability. You know, it could very well be that you're dealing with somebody, they see themselves as 9 of Pentacles. You could be dealing with somebody who is just very, very spoiled, Aries. Very spoiled, and is really causing you to have to deal with a lot of money issues or fear that your money is not going to be enough. Because with them resonating as 9 of Pentacles, interestingly enough, 9 of Pentacles is generally someone who is quite sort of ambitious and about their money, but they're also very sort of independent. This is someone who is not really connected to anyone, you know. They're certainly their money and their financial status, their wealth and all of that is absolutely of more importance generally to someone who's resonating with this energy than anything else, right? because they're very ambitious. This is not a slight or anything, but they're very ambitious. Another side to this energy, though, can be someone you could be dealing with who is very much sort of just very sort of used to a certain status, used to a certain lifestyle, right? And if you're going to deal with them, you're going to have to be on this lifestyle or on this level with them. And you are certainly worrying about money. And I'm going to say for some of you, Aries, this makes a lot of sense now. Now we can get into understanding why moth will come out in unrequited love, because for some of you, you may indeed be dealing with someone who's really just about money, Aries, you know, and indeed they may be your twin flame. You may be with them and love them very much. And of course, this is a strong bond, right? I mean, when I'm doing twin flame readings, this is not to say that these relationships are all like that perfect twin flame for life, but it's the one you're in now. And I think for some of you, Aries, you're definitely dealing with someone right now who's really, this 2020 period is going to make you really have, like, cause you a lot of sort of anxiety over your money. Just anxiety, you know, whether you have enough to sustain their lifestyle or what have you. We're going to get further into it. Now, how do you see your person and how they see you? Well, you see your person as a Page of Swords. So you're attracted to them in a lot of ways because you see them as someone who's really sort of like very youthful and inventive. You like talking to them very much. Page of Swords is kind of like, you know, that it's that kind of communication, that kind of level of communication that's very honest, right? Page of Swords is also a space that we're in where we're very sort of like, remember I said this person is very ambitious, right? Page of Swords is also ambitious in the sense that they won't allow sort of negative thinking or people around them, right, who may have negative sort of thinking or say negative things. They simply won't allow that to come into their thinking. Page of Swords is very much the rebel against any sort of like thinking or attitudes that are meant to hold him back, right? Because he's very ambitious. He feels as though he's extremely intelligent, which he is. He has brilliant ideas, you know. This is someone who really has a lot of inspiration, you know, and wants to go after their inspiration. But with Page of Swords, we see someone who's really championing that, and they just won't tolerate sort of any negativity to come in. They're very, very honest with people, and they're very honest with themselves, but they're also extremely ambitious. And it's interesting that this is how you see your partner, because I think that this person is probably somebody that you feel really sort of like endearing about. You know, they may be someone who's a little younger than you, and it could just be their sort of idealism. You know, the Page of Swords is a real idealist, you know, and it's their idealism and their passion as far as following their ideals. I think that really turns you on in a lot of ways, and this is why you're attracted to them. And they are extremely ambitious. I want to say as well, Aries, this could also be someone that you're really not used to being in a relationship with. This could be someone that is very different to your usual type. And the kind of conversations you have with them, you probably feel are very like, wow, you know, this is a different kind of communication that I'm used to. And I think that this is also one of the things that really draws them to you. Now, they see you as the Three of Wands. And Three of Wands is someone who is also very ambitious, but also very patient. You know, 3 is the number for bonding and loyalty and patience. And with Three of Wands, we see somebody who's like almost being forced to stand still a little bit. I almost wonder if it's interesting that they see you like this, Aries, because I almost wonder, because I really strongly feel like this person you're dealing with is very ambitious, very about their money and their status, but you may be biding your time in a particular area in your life or a project or what have you. But I feel like this person is the type of person who sees you very much as like, they're probably saying, Aries, why don't you hurry up and get going? You know, why don't you hurry up? You're supposed, you know, you have a project perhaps that you're working on right now and this objective that you're trying to achieve, Aries, right? But you're on your own timeline, right? And I feel like some of you are dealing with someone who's like that person who wants to rush you. They want you to rush your sort of timeline because they want you to hurry up and, you know, and get your goal so that you can keep spending money on them. Do you know what I mean? It's like that typical kind of like nagging wife, you know, or a husband, because this is not gender specific or sort of sexual orientation specific, but that typical sort of spouse who's like constantly jumping on your back to hurry up and get the job done or hurry up and will, take the next contract. Well, hurry up and take that contract. Well, I don't care that you don't have the capacity for it. Take it. It's money. We need more money in the house. It's this. I feel really strongly like because they see you as really exhibiting a lot of patience right now, but they're raring to go with this Page of Swords, which is how you see them. And I think that there is really a feeling of sort of a timing issue here with you guys, in the sense that they may even be a little bit younger than you, Aries. They're kind of younger, maybe younger, a little bit more youthful, a little bit more rebellious. They're very idealistic, and they're raring to go. And you may be sort of a little bit more experienced with wolf energy. You're a little wiser. You're a little bit more experienced, and you understand the nature of possibly sort of like taking your time, planning out your next move, and they don't get that. They just see you as like almost like a slow fuddy-duddy, or somebody who's just not like, getting it done. And I feel strongly like a lot of this is coming out of their need for the things in life that are glittery and gold and nice and shiny and cost a lot of money. Right? Because they're resonating with the spirit of the moth, which is like I said, the moth loves the flame. Remember, they love shiny new objects. They love gold, and they love everything that's, greener on the other side. I wouldn't be surprised, Aries, if you've been dealing with this person for a long time. I wouldn't even be surprised if this has been an on again, off again relationship where they've left at times when you weren't able to sort of like, deliver the way they want it. And then when you started to get your coin back, or you're doing, whatever, they come back. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those dynamics, or they leave every now and again and go somewhere and you think that they're going to go visit family. Actually, they're going to go cheat. It's like a real kind of like manipulative sort of thing. And I'm not saying that you're being easily manipulated, Aries, but what I am saying is that some of you are very much in love with this person, and I think you're finding it difficult. Some of this patience that you're exhibiting also with their behavior. Do you see what I mean? It's like they see you. I feel very strong. They see you very much as sort of like too passive or too laid back, not making fast enough moves. Of course, Aries, this is ridiculous because you're Aries. You know what you're doing. You have wolf spirit with you. Of course you know what you're doing. And just because, the young Page of Swords is looking at you and wanting to rush you doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. This is the whole nature of them having this very sort of pumped up idealistic thing. It's like, it's probably what drew you to them. And you're probably like, oh, they're so cute. Look at them go. But at the same time, it's like they're a pain in the fucking ass because they're constantly trying to tell you what to do and how to do it and do it faster, and they have no idea what they're talking about. And you, of course, know that the only reason they're saying that is because they want what they want, which is they want a shiny new this or a shiny new that, or they want you to sort of work up to this status, this monetary and financial and sort of social status, so that they can flex. And this is really how I feel it strongly. Now, how do you see the relationship? I'm not even surprised this is coming up. 7 of Wands. It's a constant battle for you. 7 of Wands is a constant battle. 7 is the number for dreams, like what you really desire. And it's like you're constantly battling. It feels, I believe, Aries, you're going to be feeling this year very much like it's a constant battle to keep this fucking person happy. To keep them happy, to sort of keep yourself sane, right? You're constantly having... 7 of Swords talks about having to come up with creative solutions to obstacles that are always coming up. And I feel strongly like for you, the obstacle is this person. They're always going to throw another obstacle up. They're always going to make it more difficult than it has to be. They, however, see the relationship as the 8 of Cups, which is like they feel like they've put too much in. They're feeling like, well, I'm pouring too much into cups that really aren't worthy. And normally this 8 of Cups, interesting. The 8 of Cups normally is the card that will come up when you are resonating with that energy of putting boundaries in place, right? Because 8 is realizing that you've really put too much energy into relationships and into cups that don't sort of feed you back, right? And so, oftentimes we talk about 8 of Cups in the sense of putting boundaries in place and saying, listen, I'm no longer going to allow certain people to get that close to me. I'm going to walk up, you see the person ascending. I'm going to ascend. I'm going to go to a territory, or I'm going to go to higher ground. Literally, I'm going to walk to higher ground where I can have deeper connections and where I can have, people and cups, as it were, relationships that are going to be reciprocal, right? Where I'm not just giving, giving, giving. Interestingly enough, though, it's this person here who resonates with a little bit of sort of gold digger energy to me that is feeling this way. You know, and this is why I'm laughing. It's like you're battling, you're doing everything you can to keep them happy. You know, you're going to be worried about your money all year with this person. And meanwhile, they're complaining because they feel like they're putting too much into you. They're putting too much into this relationship. Because, of course, they're so spoiled, right? Of course, they're so sort of spoiled that they even believe that what they've been putting in is just so much more. And they're considering leaving. Because Eight of Cups talks about putting boundaries in place and leaving. So it's like, as well, you're dealing with someone. This is a really interesting reading, really, Aries. Some of you are in a long-term relationship with someone who has really sort of put you through the ringer, but because you love them so much, you keep putting up with it. And I think this is why unrequited love and let your friends help you has come up. Now we begin to understand the romance angel messages in the sense that your love is not going to be requited with this person because they're not seeing your worth. You know, they're not seeing your worth, and I think it's going to be very much an uphill battle. Let your friends help us come in because you need to very much speak to your friends, Aries, so that they can sort of help you through this situation to understand what's going on. Because I do believe that this is definitely a case of you seeing the relationship or seeing what's going on through other people's eyes so that you can have like the final reason to put the hammer down. You know, because this is unhappy for you. The stress, you look at the stress, Four of Pentacles, it's like really feeling stressed about your money, feeling like your money is threatened. Oftentimes it can turn into sort of greedy or miserly behavior, but at the root of Four of Pentacles is a fear over money. It's a fear over financial stability, right? And this is what you're going through, and this is coming up in a love reading. So it's, of course, associated with your partner who's really very much putting a lot of financial strain on you, right? And then you feel, in terms of the relationship as well, you feel like it's a constant battle, you know? So let me pull a few clarifiers to see if we can get a little bit deeper into this reading. You do have a Six of Swords here, which is very much talking about a desire to be harmonious. And I think this year, Aries, a lot of you are going to, those of you who are in this kind of connection, you're going to wake up to the fact that you just don't want to be this unhappy anymore. You know, you don't want to be this, not even unhappy, but this sort of stressed. You want harmony. You just want to go somewhere where it's harmonious. Six of Swords definitely talks about traveling. Some of you may leave and travel. Some of you may try to take your person and move, thinking that that's going to eliminate some of the stress, but I'm pretty sure you're going to find out it's not that. Ultimately, you do throughout the year in the back of your mind, I think a lot of you will be thinking, damn, I wish I could just leave this asshole. You know what I mean? I think at some point you're really going to come to that state. And this can happen with somebody you're with, and even if they are a twin flame, that can absolutely happen. Because why would you stay with somebody in the first place unless you thought that they were like your lover, your mate, right? So let's get some clarity here. Ace of Wands in the World, and we have Chariot and Seven of Cups. There we go. Bottom of the deck is Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords definitely talks about a breakthrough in sort of ideas and thinking, right? And I want to say as well for you this year, it's going to be a breakthrough in a sense that I think for some of you, you may have been in this relationship for a long time and really didn't realize how bad it was or how much this person has really been causing you stress. And I think you're going to wake up to that this year. Ace of Wands is here between you, and this is your clarifier on you, okay? So you're feeling like you want something new. Right? You're feeling this year like you want something new. Ace of Wands and Chariot, and you're very much thinking about your life and where your life is going and your life path, and like, is this really what you want as part of your life path? And I think a lot of you this year are going to be feeling extremely creative, extremely inspired, right? And this is going to have a huge effect on this relationship, or how long you're willing to put up with this relationship. Because you're starting to reevaluate, you know, your path in life. The Chariot talks very much about getting all your ducks in a row to get on a certain path in your life. It feels very destined. And Ace of Wands definitely talks about a new passion in your life. This could be a project, but oftentimes this can be a new sort of love connection or a strong sort of like, I want to say physical connection. I want to say for some of you Aries this year, you're going to meet somebody else. While you're in this connection with this person, you're going to be meeting somebody else that is a huge physical turn on for you. And meeting this individual is really going to sort of invigorate your feeling of wanting something better for your life. You're really going to start to think, as a result of all of this, about your future, and it's going to be very much about whether or not you actually want this relationship anymore, right? Because just as they're about to again, I said this could be one of these relationships where they're always leaving and coming back. This year's another cycle of them getting ready to leave anyway. And it's like, it may be the straw that broke the camel's back. Not only that, for you, Aries, this year you're going to, because this is the great phallic symbol in the deck, the Ace of Wands. So a lot of times it can also indicate meeting somebody with a high level of attraction between the two of you. Now, your person has the universe and Seven of Cups, so they think it's interesting. Seven of Cups is delusional thinking. Seven of Cups is when you are just, you throw caution to the wind, and you're just really being sort of, debauched about everything. You have this fairy tale idea about life and the way life should be and what you deserve, real sort of pie in the sky, daydreamy, very much associated with moth spirit in the sense of, thinking that you can have, the unattainable, it's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic plans for yourself and your future. It's sort of wishing and daydreaming about a life that you don't ever really work towards, right? It's very sort of like taking things for granted attitudes, right? Being debauched is taking things for granted. And this is very much your person's attitude. They do, however, have the universe. And this is interesting because the universe does talk about everything kind of being in line for you and everything kind of working out for you. But it's interesting that they have this, but they go right into a Seven of Cups. So they start off, I think your person starts off the year thinking that they're on top of the world. That they have everything that they need. They may be feeling very much like that, but then throughout the year, they're going to start to feel this Seven of Cups in a sense. Or it could very well be that they kind of go right into the Seven of Cups thinking like, oh shit, this fairy tale idea of what they're going to get out of you. I wouldn't be surprised, Aries, if you are generally very successful anyway, right? And that this person is just really, truly like has a delusional idea of what they see in their future for you and them in terms of how much they're going to get out of it. Because this person, I feel strongly that this person feels like they've really got the goose that laid the golden egg, right? And they toy with you and they manipulate you. Sometimes they act as though they're the ones who put all the energy in when in fact they've just been really pressuring you a lot most of the time. And this Seven of Cups to me is like, it can go both ways. It's delusional thinking on their part, but it can also be a real wake-up call for them later on in the year that they realize that this is never going to happen. But I think more than anything, it's their delusional thinking. Seven of Cups, this idea that they think they have you under their thumb, that they can just control you, that they're going to have this perfect life by manipulating you, And I think that a lot of this is going to be a huge wake-up call. Eight of Cups as well could very well be that towards the end of the year, this is how they see the relationship. Could very well be that if you leave them, Eight of Cups, because you've met somebody else and because you've decided that you're about to get on this huge life path and you want something more in a lover than this person. So it's a real sort of epiphany that you have about this relationship. And this Eight of Cups could very well also be, because I thought initially I thought it could be them just leaving, because this is the card for how they see the relationship, which I wouldn't be surprised because they are delusional in their thinking. So I wouldn't be surprised if they think delusionally that they're the ones putting all the energy in. But it could also very well be that they've been thinking that they have you wrapped around their fingers so strongly, and then towards the end of the year, you finally get to your senses with them. You say, you meet this other person and you're the one who's leaving. You're the one who's ascending to a higher level of engagement and you're leaving them. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is a really strong reading for somebody who's waking up to a relationship this year that is not exactly what they want. They really need to talk. You really need to, if you're resonating with this, talk with your friends, certainly, and get a better idea of what you're dealing with here, because it could, for some of you, you may just be waking up to the fact that this person is not seeing you the way you thought they were seeing you, right? And you guys aren't on the same page when it comes to what you want for your futures, right? Certainly believe that this person, for some of you, this person is very much a person who's about money and status, and a lot of why they are even with you is about that. They're also generally very toxic in a sense that they don't put very much effort into the relationship, yet they want everything. They want the fairy tale wedding, everything. It reminds me of like one of those housewives of somewhere. You know what I mean? Those shows. It's like these women who marry into money and fame. And it's like, you know what I mean? And it's like everything's about like how much money or how big the house is. I don't know. It's like I don't watch the shows. I see the commercials for them, but it's like I get the idea. But in any case, Aries, if you're dealing with this, I would urge you to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? So this is your outlook for 2020. Let me know how you feel about this, if it resonates with you or not, okay? And check out the general reading for 2020 outlook. These are just brief outlooks for the year, okay? So they're not really heavy readings. They're not full year readings like I do in my private reads. Those readings would take like about an hour, 15 minutes. I do private readings, so please definitely go to that link if you want to get a private reading. My schedule is filling up for Christmas very quickly. The private readings are just like this too. It's a live audio video stream where you can see me doing the reading while we're talking to each other, and it's really a lot of fun. And we get right into your specific scenario, and we go from there. So if you want to have a private reading, of course, follow the link and follow me on Instagram. I would like to see a lot of you over there because I'm starting to link my videos over there, and it's a lot easier for a lot of my subscribers and watchers to get notified on Instagram because you guys are on that platform a lot. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram. The link to that should be on your screen also. But for right now, guys, this is your outlook. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful 2020. Bye-bye now.